It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
Well, if there's a good thing.
I believe you can hear me now. I had it all planned out. Gonna have like a little cold open then right before the thing, and I looked down and I didn't see any audio mixer at all for that particular scene, and I was like, I'm not even gonna finish that. Just roll the open. Hello, everybody. Welcome to I keep wanting to say ExtraBulla. It's Mundus Ultra. It's another Latin phrase meaning beyond, the world beyond. So, and wow, I actually, for a Super Bowl Sunday night and, for a channel that only has 34 subs, a lot of folks showed up. What's going on? We got Dingo's here. Les Bones is here too. And we got Rick is here, and Dabby, and Pacheco, I hope I'm saying your name right. Pacheco Roan, good to see you. Oh, my sweet Jimmy's here too. Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all coming out for the Maiden Voyage. This is my Maiden Voyage hat. I like to wear this hat because it goes well with my oldness. Oh, hey, what's up, Ed? Gonna watch on the replay, but wanted to wish you a good and ultra show. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So, I started out, this show, let me just give you a little backstory. So a few weeks back, I was talking to my pal Jimmy, who co-hosts a secret show with me on my ExtraBulla channel, and I was talking about how I wanted to do a show about paranormal, UFOs, cryptids, all that kind of stuff. I'm just totally into that kind of stuff. And, and now here we are, like a few weeks later, we got an actual show on the air. I'm very excited for this. And so I started out Friday. I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do for a show? I want to get it started this weekend. I said, wow, they shot down that UFO over northern Alaska. And I said, well, that'll be good. I said, I don't know if I can stretch that to an hour, but I'll talk about like the history of UFOs in Alaska. And there's also the Alaskan Triangle, which is the Great White North version of the Bermuda Triangle. So what do you he said, Les Bone said, went to Dunkin' Donuts to get the Valentine's Day spirit. I'm all set to watch Mundus Ultra now. That's good. Yes, the show is better with donuts, I would say. So, Can you guys hear me okay out there? Everything that did you could hear the open and all that stuff, the sound was all right? Okay, good. So, just so you know, everybody wondering why you're turning blue, it's because first night, opening night, everybody shows up for the stream tonight. Will be deputized. You will become a mod. You get a wrench, and all the trappings that go along with it. So congratulations and thank you for being here tonight. Yeah, Rick, they that's what they're saying too, but they're not. You know what? This is the thing. And I don't want to mix politics into this show, but I figure we have to. I want to keep it real too. Okay. Um, like any of this stuff, we have to. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief on some of this stuff. That some of the things we're going to be talking about, not just tonight, but just in general as the show progresses. But with all the fuckery that the government's been doing lately, I would not put it past them to be making up these stories about these UFOs. Wowersism. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the program. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of this shit. So I don't want anybody to be coming after me like, well, he said so-and-so, and, that ain't true. All right, we're just trying to do the best we can here, and I personally believe that there's alien life in the universe, and I personally believe that we have been visited by extraterrestrials to this planet on numerous occasions throughout history, and may have even altered history in the past too. And that being said, though, the government is always going to be the government, and in their track record of late has not been good as far as being honest to the American people. So this the one that was shot down in allegedly shot down in Alaska. I don't think they had any video of it. They mentioned that it was the size of a small car, but it wasn't a balloon. They didn't know what it was, but at the same time, they're not releasing images to the public. So, hey, what's up, Kate? I was tempted to keep like the Super Bowl score in the corner for all you that are being nice to me and watching the show, but at the same time want to keep an eye peeled on there. But it's only an hour. We'll be done by 8:00. There'll be plenty of football left. So, she says, all I care about is that the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl. Well, my Saints have as good a shot at winning the Super Bowl this year as your Green Bay Packers, Kate, which is no shot because there's only 2 teams left. But, who knows what next season will provide. But anyway, let's get into the meat and taters of what we're talking about here tonight. Let me check my rundown here. So I came across a lot of stuff. It turns out the weekend just became full of these UFO stories, right? So Friday was just the tip of the iceberg. There's been sightings in India. There was last month there was a sighting in Mexico. We got some video of some of these here. We've got some out of China. And so let me see. First off, let me just look up here. We're going to check out, this is a site called beforeitsnews.com. So take that for what you will, as far as like the accuracy of the stories, but they do have video on there. Okay, so first off, we're going to check out this cigar-shaped UFO in India. The video is 4 minutes long, but we're not going to watch that much of it. I'll show you what's happening here. So let me get this into position here, and let's check this out. So I believe that's it. Hello. Is that it? That's it. Let's see. Let me try this again. Sorry, folks. We do it live. Here we go. I think that's it. All right. This is in Udaipur. I totally butchered that name, India. This was back in January, like late January. So we're just setting the stage here, right? Watch out for anal probes, indeed. Wowzer-isms. So look at
I've
now,
never seen something like that actually. Have you? I know, but what is that? Is it a flight?
It's this lady's talking too much. So anyway, so this is the cigar-shaped craft that they were talking about, right? Now, more often than not, whenever you see something like this in the sky, it's often accompanied with video, taking video or photos, right? And so you have to consider frame rates that go into it, right? So so like when you see these long cylindrical things, you can't really get the depth of perception. You can't really tell how far away this thing is to get the size of it. But normally, like whenever you're taking video of something and something flies by, you've seen those videos where it looks cylindrical, like it has wings. There's a closer shot of it right there. But this doesn't. This is slow moving. And it doesn't look like it has any sort of like wings or anything on it. Rods, exactly, Rick. Yeah, the rods you've seen in those videos and in some pictures too. It looks like a stick, and looks like it has like pairs of wings on it. And more often than not, that's like a dragonfly or something like that. But this is kind of wild. So, and this was in India. So let me get this other one set up here. And I have to warn you in advance, this being the first show, there may be some technical bugaboos and we're still kind of finding our way. So, eventually we'll get there, you know, so please, just be patient, with this. So hopefully we can get out alive and everything will be good. Does anyone know, is Rockfin or Rumble? Not yet. If anything, Kate, if I'm going to be on Rockfin or Rumble, I'll probably simulcast this show on my ExtraBulla channel. So I just didn't do it tonight. I didn't have it set up or anything, but I'm definitely going to work that out. So what's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Oh my God, it just started for me. Been here the whole time. Really? See? The internet is a crazy place. Yeah, Rumble's a good spot. And actually Rumble might be a pretty good a good place for this kind of stuff too. I mean, not that YouTube is going to censor this kind of stuff until it's time, because you never know what YouTube is always up to. So anyway, so this was this next one, this was late January too. This is out of Baja California Sur in Mexico. And I don't know. This looks fake. If this is real, this is some scary shit. That's all I'm going to say. So, let's watch this. Really? What is going on? Now I know why nobody likes this site, because it's crap. Let's see. Let's try this again. Okay. Now take a look at this. It doesn't do the Miami Vice thing again. That looks like that movie Nope, doesn't it? I mean, okay, if you you could see a very distinct line across the edge of it there, right? If that line isn't there, it kind of looks almost exactly like the Note cloud. If you do an extra 2 hours on the show, I won't complain. So, all right, Dabs. Well, we can do that. we're just doing an hour tonight, just like a little, like a little appetizer, see how you like it. And, if you want a 2-hour show, we'll definitely have 2-hour shows when we have guests on too. And particularly when Marcus Cage comes on, we're going to talk about like crazy stuff in the Bible too. 3 hours or bust. You guys are crazy. This isn't Coast to Coast AM, all right? We're not doing 6 hours. So yeah, so this is out of Baja, California. All right, so get rid of that. Okay. Leave. There's more on here. And I just wanted to just give you examples of these things. So now, this was another one. So, okay. Let's see. So this is the update from Friday. So, according to ABC4, I'm not quite sure where this is out of. Maybe this is out of Alaska. I'm not sure.
Meanwhile, a little.
You hush your mouth, lady. Ain't nobody ready for you. Okay. So this is that update to what was going on Friday. So let's, let me entertain you. Come on, mouse. Don't be a bitch. Okay. Here we go. And.
Meanwhile.
That is encroached.
Meanwhile, a little bit closer to home, U.S. officials say they still don't know who owns the unidentified flying object the military shot down over Alaska. This coming just days after the military shot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon off the coast of the Carolinas. ABC's M. Nguyen has the story.
The military is now in the process of recovering the wreckage of an unidentified object shot down Friday off the coast of Alaska. The White House saying this object was flying at 40,000 feet, posing a threat to civilian aircraft.
Out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of the Pentagon, President Biden ordered the military to down the object. And they did.
One senior official describing it as cylindrical and silverish gray. The Pentagon saying it's about the size of a small car.
Do you have anything to say about the object shot down over Alaska, Mr. President?
The White House says the object was first detected Thursday evening. Fighter jets sent to observe, determining it was unmanned. The president briefed Thursday, giving the order to shoot it down Friday morning. An F-22 fighter jet taking the shot at 1:45 p.m. This object didn't appear to have the gondola underneath it like the suspected Chinese spy balloon that was brought down off the coast of the Carolinas.
There's no indication that it had any capability to be powered or to steer in a particular direction or to collect intelligence.
President Biden has faced some criticism for not acting sooner to shoot down that Chinese spy balloon before it transversed the United States. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski says Friday's action sends a better message.
Any aspect of U.S. sovereign territory that is encroached upon, there's going to be consequences to it.
On Friday, the military announced they had found the massive technology bay from that Chinese spy balloon at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
All right, so there you go there. Now you guys are talking about Lake Huron. Okay, so, and I believe that was today. Let's see. Okay. So let's get to it. They turned Art's show to crap. Lots of propaganda on that show now. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of George Norrie and Coast to Coast. I used to listen to Art Bell back in the 90s, and wow. Yeah, you really not. Yeah. Once he was gone, that was okay. You gonna stop? Okay. All right. So you asked for it, you got it. Toyota. This is from 41 minutes ago. This is ABC 7 News Bay Area. So I guess this is, I would assume that's San Francisco. So yeah, let's take a look at this. Get Chucky out of the way.
U.S. officials have confirmed to ABC News that another high-altitude object was shot down Sunday afternoon over Lake Huron. According to one official, it was shot down by a U.S. military aircraft. Today's incident comes one day after another unidentified object was shot down on Saturday, according to officials. This one over the Yukon in Canada. The object first detected Friday night, Canadian and U.S. planes scrambling to scope it out. President Biden speaking to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, giving the green light for a U.S. F-22 fighter jet to take the shot. Trudeau thanking the long-standing partnership that monitors the sky and the sea, writing, quote, "Thank you to NORAD for keeping the watch over North America."
I also spoke with President Biden and confirmed together that we will continue to do everything necessary to protect the sovereignty of our shared North American airspace.
Saturday's incident comes just one day after a U.S. fighter jet shot down a similar object over Alaska. The military and FBI are now working to recover that object. It also comes on the heels of the U.S. shooting down a suspected Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina on February 4th, after it transversed the United States.
Shooting the balloon down in the Atlantic once it flew over all the military bases, including my own Fort Campbell, Kentucky. It's very disturbing. I'm glad this administration's taken it more seriously with respect to the balloons, but we've got a whole lot bigger problem with China than the spy balloon.
But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer defended the Biden administration's handling of the situation.
We're going to probably be able to piece together this whole surveillance balloon and know exactly what's going on. So that's a huge coup for the United States.
Schumer says the U.S. gains intelligence information from surveilling that balloon. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
Atlanta. All right, so that's what was going on today. Busy weekend for UFOs. So, of course, I know most of you in the chat, and I know most of you are cynical fuckers like I am. So what's the end game, right? The United States goes for years, decades, doesn't tell the public anything about seeing UFOs. Now in recent years, we get a little bit of disclosure. There's the famous Nimitz video where it's shot from the aircraft carrier Nimitz, and they couldn't, it was going super fast, faster than anything they could make. And I don't know, I'm very skeptical when it comes to that kind of stuff. I think something's going on. So, I mean, but what is going on, right? So, I mean, taking it a little political just for a second, but we have to take everything in consideration. Like, if you believe in these things, if you believe in UFOs, you believe they actually shot down a UFO. I mean, technically they did, because they couldn't, it was a flying object or an aerial phenomena, and they couldn't identify it, right? Well, at least that's what they're telling us. Basically what they said, it was the size of a small car. They didn't think it was a balloon, and unless it was unless it was the DeLorean from Back to the Future, I don't know of many flying cars out there, at least at 40,000 feet. So yeah, it's something we're gonna have to definitely keep an eye on for that. So let me see if there's anything else in here that was good. Yeah, they had mentioned in that video about the one, there was like 3 over the weekend, right? There was the Lake Huron one, there was the one in Canada proper, and then there was the one in where was it? It was in Alaska there. So here is I was telling you about the one in China, and I believe this is the one from this month. So let's see.
Let's
see. This may be bullshit. I don't know, but we'll find out together. We'll discover bullshit together. You and I, face to face, a couple of silver spoons. No, you're not doing that. Okay. Try this.
UFO is captured on a professional camera in China. Extraordinary evidence captured in China with a long-range professional camera, in which the passage of a ship in front of the moon can be observed. This happened on September 29, 2022.
Oh, this was September. Okay. That looks wild. I don't know about you. But they can fake a lot of this stuff too. They can fake a lot of these things, right? I mean, you have home computers with like After Effects and stuff like that, where they can put this kind of stuff into videos. So we have to be very skeptical about a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, keep an open mind, because shit might be real. It's got some funky music to it, so that's fun. So yeah, crazy. So I was just going to start off with just that Alaska, the Alaska incident, and then just talk about Alaska. But then all this other shit happened over the weekend. I was like, whoa. So just be careful, because like I said, there's a lot of deception going on, particularly here in the United States. You may have heard of Project Bluebeam. The plot, it's a New World Order plot to use holograms to make us believe that UFOs are here, and that we should band together as one, come together as one world to defeat the enemy. So that's how you get the one world government and all that stuff. So they've already put the fear mechanisms in people already with the jibby jab, and so that could have been just a test run for this kind of stuff. So like I said, just speculation. I don't have the facts, but it is something to think about. But you make your own decisions, obviously. So let's see. This is when was this? Was this? Okay, so So there was another one. There was another Chinese one. So after USA and Canada discovered in China, authorities urgently stated it spotted an unidentified flying object. This is from B92.net. Like I said, your mileage may vary. Take this with as much trust as you're willing to muster. An unidentified flying object was detected near the coastal city of Rizhao, China. Chinese state-run Global Times reported citing local maritime authorities. And it just, if this is what that is, it looks like another weather balloon. I don't even know what they're talking about here. Local maritime authorities in East China's Shandong province said on Sunday they had spotted an unidentified flying object in waters near the province's coastal city of Rizhao and were preparing to shoot it down, reminding fishermen through text messages to be safe. After that, the UFO was shot down. That was the one in the United States. They're referencing the Lake Huron one. So yeah, and all this is like this weekend. It's like UFO weekend at Bernie's. It's wild. But I don't know. Has anybody in the chat, have you ever seen a UFO in the real life? I have a cousin who said she saw one. She saw a triangle craft. She was in Ramsey Springs, Mississippi, which is near the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, and think about these UFO sightings too. They're usually found around military bases, right? Your Rendlesham Forest in England, military base. The Pascagoula sighting back in the 70s. You have Keesler Air Force Base down there. You also have the Gulfport CB base down there, naval base too. So, but she said this was back in the 60s and 70s. She was in the back of this car, and back then they had these cars called hatchbacks. So the back sloped and it had this big giant windows back there. So she was laying in the back there. Like there was like this, there's the seat, the back seat, and then there was like the area underneath where your tire was. And so she was kind of laying back there looking up through the window, and she was, as they were going through like this canopy of trees along the road. It's very common down south. But through the canopy of trees, she saw these lights that were straight up like a triangle and just was kept straight, going straight forward. And that was basically it. That's all she saw. But, you know, oh, you've seen several in North, yeah. This is not going to be the only UFO night, so trust me on this. We're gonna do Betty and Barney Hill. We'll do that story. We're going to definitely do the Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights, there's a lot more to that story than people know about too. And fun fact, Kurt Russell, he was in the air flying. Not as a passenger, he was a pilot. He was flying, and he saw the lights, and he called it into the tower. I don't know if he called it into the military base or who he called it into, but I guess the local airport, the control tower, and he told them about it, and they were like, maybe they were in disbelief, like, wait a minute, I don't know what to believe. Is that you're Kurt Russell, or there's UFOs? So anyway, I would think somebody was playing a prank on me. Definitely, Rick. Those rural areas near bases that are secluded. Exactly. That's why you see so many out in the desert, stuff like that, where it's like kind of sparsely populated out there. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so we already did that. Okay, so this is the one. So this is the Northern Canada story. So same weekend, you know. I only got 23 minutes left. We might have to go a little longer. We'll see. But I want to definitely, we'll get a little more into the details about what this Canada one. So let's see here. Hopefully it works. We'll
According
see.
to the Pentagon.
Okay. You're talking, so that means it works. Okay. So
According to the Pentagon, NORAD first detected this latest unidentified unmanned object over Alaska on Friday evening. As they monitored it and tracked where it was going, it did cross into Canadian airspace. At some point today, President Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau both spoke. They had both been monitoring the situation for the last 24 hours, and they ultimately decided that out of an abundance of caution, they wanted to follow the advice of their military leaders and authorized the shooting down of this object. Now, at this point, once this operation was underway, it was ultimately an American F-22 fighter jet that shot down this unidentified object over Canada. Now, there's still so many questions about what exactly this object entailed, including the size, its origin, and its purpose. And a few moments ago, the Defense Minister of Canada talked a little bit about what they know at this moment.
Recovery operations are now underway and will be supported by the Canadian Armed Forces in conjunction with the RCMP. This coordinated operation will allow a further investigation into this object. We have no further details about the object at this time, other than it appears to be a small cylindrical object and smaller than the one that was downed off the coast of North Carolina. There is no reason to believe that the impact of the object in Canadian territory is of any public concern.
Yeah, so
I'm going to ask you a question that I assume may.
Okay, don't ask me any questions. I don't know the answers. I just work here. So yeah, so you have what's the common denominator with these things? Okay, first off, no video of any of them, right? The one that the famous one that was they went across the country and got shot down off of the coast of South Carolina. They have video of that, right? And it's kind of funny when they shot it down and it just went poof, and it looked like all this smoke and dust was going everywhere. I think it was a big cocaine balloon. They were trying to send that overseas to a certain person that runs a country next to Russia. So anyway, wait, what happened? But these others, no video, right? And these these fighter jets, they have video. They have video cameras in there. They can take video of this stuff. That we're not, a cylindrical object. There's one that was the size of a small car. This Lake Huron one. Where's the video, right? That's why my spider senses start tingling, thinking like, okay, there's some bullshit going on here, right? Because it's like I said, I love UFOs. I want to believe that extraterrestrial life exists, right? But this just seems like some fooling around and fucking around, right? Getting people to, to go squirrel, and to keep them from getting their attention on things that are going on. Like I said, I don't want to get political, but the things that are going on right now, you have that train derailment in Ohio, which is devastating. And none of the mainstream media is talking about this. They're not talking about the dangers. They're saying, oh, well, it's okay to come back. But meanwhile, there's wildlife and fish that are dying around the area. People are complaining about like skin irritations and coughing and stuff like that. Huge distraction. So, I mean, you don't really have to be a Rhodes Scholar to put the pieces together there. If you're talking about UFOs, the government is openly talking about UFOs on multiple occasions over the same weekend. Come on. Something, as they said in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, something is amiss at the Circle K. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy says, I think these balloon scares are to distract us from the Ohio train derailment. Yeah, and you also have the that damning article by Seymour Hersh, who basically said U.S. blew up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Blew it up. They got it. They got sources and everything. Not talking about that either. It's the things they don't talk about are the things that you should pay attention to if you're not doing so already. So, and I didn't used to be like that. I used to believe the mainstream media. I used to think, okay, that sounds right. And because I didn't care. I wasn't into politics. I wasn't into any kind of, I didn't know what the World Economic Forum was. I barely knew what a New World Order was. Hey, Mao said it. What is up with you, brother? Good to see you. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you and yours. The balloon is to keep us from seeing the dirty way the 49ers got knocked out of the Super Bowl. Damn it, and I don't have my soundboard here. I was going to do a bumps. Dude, y'all got screwed, man. Seriously. Y'all just got some weak-ass quarterbacks that can't stay healthy. I'm sorry. I really wanted to see that kid in the Super Bowl. Anyway, but going back to Alaska is a weird and wonderful place. It's beautiful, but at the same time, it's remote. It's desolate in a lot of places. I mean, think about the Pacific Northwest in the lower 48. Think about all those forests and stuff that surround like what is it? Oh shit, the mountain there. What's the fucking mountain there? Come on. My brain is cheese. I want to say Mount Etna, but I know that's not right. But in the Northwest, there's like a lot of remote places where, anything could be hiding, right? And so in Alaska, they've had a couple of stories. This one is one of my favorites. It's from the 1980s. I believe it was 80. What was it? Oh, I think I got it up here. So this is JAL 1628. Japanese Airlines spots UFO over Alaska in 1986. So let me pull this article up real quick. Unfriendly Skies, Extraordinary Flight of JAL 1628. This is a great story too. So let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. All right. So in 1980, what did I say? 86? Yeah, I believe so. I think that's what it was. Japanese Airlines cargo flight 1628, 3 UFOs played tag with this plane for almost an hour while they were visually observed by a sometimes terrified flight crew. So there was a lot of people who had eyes on these things, right? During the last 30 minutes, UFOs were tracked on military and civilian radar, and the entire encounter was verified by a high-level administrator of the FAA. The incident received media coverage all over the world. Japan Airlines Captain Kenju Tarachi, I'm sorry, I butchered that name, ex-fighter pilot and senior airline pilot with more than 10,000 flight hours. He was assigned to fly a Japanese airline cargo flight from Paris to Reykjavik, Anchorage, and on to Tokyo. So on November 17th, around 5:09 p.m. Alaska time, the Anchorage Air Route Traffic Control Center contacted JAL 1628, which at the time was about 104 miles northeast of Fort Yukon. The flight controller asked the pilot to adjust his heading so the plane would pass south of Fort Yukon and Fairbanks. Co-pilot turned the plane to the left about 15 degrees. The captain sitting on the left side of the cockpit saw unidentified lights outside his side window to the left and below. He thought they were military planes at first and ignored them, and after a few minutes he realized that these unidentified aircraft were pacing him. Crazy. So Flight 1628 contacted Anchorage Center twice in rapid succession and asked if there were any other aircraft in the area. Anchorage Center responded that there were no military aircraft and ground radar did not show any aircraft other than Flight 1628, which is a lot of times these UFOs are not caught on radar. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. So they then the two lights began to move in an erratic manner. The captain recollected in his official report to the FAA, the distance from the lights was far enough from us. This is him in his report. The lights was far enough from us and we felt no immediate danger. I thought perhaps it's a UFO. The lights were still moving strangely, most unexpectedly. 2 spaceships appeared directly in front of the plane, shooting off lights. The inside cockpit shined brightly, and I felt the warmth of the UFO's thrusters on my face. Wow. That's up close and personal. Then 3 to 7 seconds later, the fire, like from jet engines, stopped and became a small circle of lights as they began to fly in level flight at the same speed as we were. The middle of the body of the ship sparked an occasional stream of lights like a charcoal fire. Its shape was a square flying 500 feet to 1,000 feet in front of us, very slightly higher in altitude than us. Its size was about the same size as the body of a DC-8, similar in size to a Boeing 707. So not a small craft, not a huge one like you hear about these mile-wide ones, but still pretty interesting. It's impossible for any man-made machine to make a sudden appearance in front of a jumbo jet that is flying 910 kilometers per hour and to move along in a formation paralleling our aircraft. But we did not feel threatened or in danger. Honestly, we were simply astounded. I have no idea why they came so close to us. So, I mean, this sounds like this dude's seen these things before, right? I mean, if this is the first time I've ever seen a UFO that close, I don't know, but this guy's a professional, and I'm not a professional. It's probably why I was never a pilot. I'm a little afraid of heights, so there's probably that too. Yeah, it's Super Bowl today too. There's a lot of people online too, probably watching the game. So if you get the little, just refresh the page, you should be okay. There was a pale white flat light in the direction where the ships flew away, pacing us. The Anchorage Center replied that they saw nothing on their radar. I set our digital weather radar distance to 20 miles, radar angle to horizon. There it was on the screen. A large green round object had appeared 7 or 8 miles away in the direction of the object. We arrived at the sky above the Eielson Air Force Base in Fairbanks. It was a clear night. We were just above the bright city lights, and we checked the pale white light behind us. There was a silhouette of a gigantic spaceship. We must get away quickly. This is the pilot of this cargo plane. This is his recollection. He's like, oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. A terrified Captain Tarachi, in coordination with the Anchorage Center, attempted evasive maneuvers such as flying in a circle and changing altitude. The gigantic UFO, later described by Tarachi as the size of 2 aircraft carriers, shadowed Flight 1628 through all maneuvers. So in 86, John Callahan was FAA Division Chief of the Accidents and Investigations Branch in Washington, D.C. About a week after the incident, he got an urgent call from Alaska. Callahan's recollections were recorded in an interview conducted around 2000. His comments, too, are edited here for brevity and clarity. He says, I forgot who it was that called, but he says, we got a problem here. I don't know what to tell the media. The whole FAA office is full of the media from Alaska. Callahan asked, what's the problem? He says, it's that UFO. I said, what UFO? He says, well, last week we had a UFO chase a 747 across the skies up here for about 30 minutes or so. I told him to get all the data together. I wanted all the civilian and military discs that they had and all the tapes that they had available, and flown overnight to the tech center where I'm sitting. The military refused to send the tapes, but he got everything Anchorage Traffic Control had. We told him we wanted this room set up to be like it was at Anchorage. He played the tapes. He heard a 3-way conversation between Anchorage Air. So this guy, Callahan, got a hold of these tapes. And I believe, he says, after sitting through the presentation, Callahan's boss turned to him and said, don't talk to anybody until I give you the okay. The next day, his boss set up a briefing. According to Callahan, I brought all the people from the tech center. We went upstairs. We had all kinds of boxes of data that we handed them. That was a big mistake. Printouts. It filled up the room. They brought in 3 people from the FBI, 3 people from the CIA, and 3 people from Reagan's scientific study team. Ronald Reagan was president at the time. And I don't know who the rest of the people were, but they were all excited. Callahan and his staff showed the assemblage everything they had and answered a lot of technical questions. So yeah, this is let me put this link in the chat. I don't know how this is going to work out with this. We'll see. New toys. We'll see if everything works. Fascinating story. And of course, it was like one of these deals where all the tapes got lost and, they were never seen again. Well, the pilot was seen again. But that's a pretty cool one. That's one of my favorites. I really, well, there's an epilogue to it. So within months of the incident, Captain Tarachi was banished to a desk job because he had, quote, embarrassed the company. He was fully reinstated a few years later. John Callahan retired from the FAA, became an industry consultant, and periodically recounted the true story of JAL Flight 1628. Good stuff. This is kind of a quickie. This was around the golden age of UFOs, right? Basically, it all started with Kenneth Arnold back in 1947. Everybody, a lot of people who aren't into this kind of stuff will say, "Oh, well, Roswell, that was that was the more famous one. But Kenneth Arnold was, I believe he was flying near Mount Rainier. That's what I was trying to think of. Mount Rainier in the Northwest, and saw several craft fly by, and he coined the term flying saucer. He said because they looked like flying saucers. Because at the time, people drank coffee, and they had their little coffee saucers underneath. You have the saucer so you don't spill the coffee on you if you're, you got a drinking problem. So this next one is from way back in 1947. And like I said, it's a quick one, so should be a pretty quick read. The Flying Saucer. Dun, dun, dun. On July 9th, 1947, 3 teenage Anchorage girls, Judy Kerr, Vicky Novak, and Nancy Green, claimed to see an unusual white disc-shaped object above Elmendorf Air Force Base, where it streaked across the sky and disappeared to the south. According to the girls, the unidentified object traveled at great speed and was moving faster than ordinary planes. Remember, it's 1947. They didn't have jets yet. They had propeller planes. The girls also said that it was smaller than any fighter plane and not a weather balloon. That sounds familiar. Which they were familiar with since they were all daughters of servicemen and passed the time watching the base flight operations. These 3 girls had made the first documented UFO sighting in Anchorage history. Like I said, this started in 47 was a crazy year. So you had Roswell. You also had there it is, the Mineral Washington. I don't know if any and if you Washington folks are here may know of that. It's a small town south of Tacoma. On June 24th, amateur pilot Kenneth Arnold was in the air above Mineral when he spotted 9 unidentified flying objects in an echelon formation, traveling at an extreme speed. Lights flash from them all together and then in a sequence down the line of objects. He reported the sighting after he landed and was interviewed by an intrigued reporter the next day. So, people were seeing stuff back then, but there wasn't like crazy, I'm going crazy. I can't tell anybody, or people think I'm nuts. People would see something. They go, "Hey, did you see that thing last night?" "Yeah, it was crazy, right?" And they just assumed it was some military stuff. I think that's what they were back then, thinking that, it was like kind of the spoils of war. When you go to war, you often develop new technologies in order to get an edge over your enemy. And I'm assuming a lot of these people who are not in the know probably thought that these were all just like military crafts, just something extraordinary. But even with the speeds that they were going, hey, Miguel, good to see you, buddy. Even with we're talking 1947. Like I said, we didn't have jets yet. And these things were flying like jets. So, and I would imagine, something that was, well, that's over 75 years ago. People didn't have near any of the kind of technology that we have now. So very intriguing, that story. And finally, something I've been, this is an intriguing story too. So like I said, there's all kinds of crazy shit that goes on in Alaska, right? Because of the remoteness and because of places out there where people just don't go. It's just too dangerous to go. So that means, if you were someone from another planet and you came here, that would be a great hiding place to just kind of like knock around and, check out, have a little home base away from everybody, kind of like it is in the forests of the Northwest. It's so thick that you can't really, or like going to the Amazon, the same thing. It's just, who knows what's hidden in the Amazon as well. But this is talking about, an an area in Alaska where some real high strangeness is going on. So this is 10 strange things you didn't know about the Alaska Triangle. And this is from thetravel.com. I know a lot of these sites don't sound too reputable, but then again, how many times has the Washington Post and the New York Times lied to you in the last 3 years? So I think everybody's on a level playing field at this point. So, and beautiful country too. Look at that. That's just, I've never been to Alaska, but it's just like, it's just beautiful and it's terrifying at the same time. It's just, look at that. It's just, if you were like in the middle of all that, oh my goodness, it's just, wow. It takes a special breed of person to be able to sustain that. So, okay, come on back here. So 10 things about the Alaska Triangle. The missing persons rate is twice as high as the national average. I mean, that's not exactly, you can't really say that's like a kind of a supernatural thing, you know, but because there's a lot, you know, people, they're stupid. They think they want to go on some adventure, and then they go out in these desolate places that there's no civilization, and they end up getting lost and, you know, and just never found again. So, you know, you have to be real about it. A lot of these times it's just people's stupidity and they're just getting lost. But some of these they can't explain. Like sometimes like they would be like a person is there and then they turn and talk to somebody and they look back and that person would be gone. There was no way they could have snuck away, that sort of thing. Graham Hancock has some revelations about the Amazon in America before. I have to check that out. I've been watching Ancient Apocalypse. I have to take that in bites though. It's only 30 minutes. Each show is only 30 minutes long. Pretty fascinating if you're into that sort of thing. They all got eaten by Bigfoot. I think according to commercials, Rick, Bigfoot only eats beef jerky. And gets apparently gets pissed off if you just, you know, try to fuck with him. Anyway, for those who don't know who I am, this is me. Thanks. Anyway, so let's get back here. While the explanations for this might not be as sinister as some people believe it to be, it's still a shuddering statistic. On average, 4 in 1,000, so 1 in 250 people have gone missing in the area known as the Alaska Triangle, which is twice the national average. One theory for this is due to the terrain that exists in Alaska, combined with unpredictable weather patterns, which can lead to disorientation and the loss of a sense of direction. But you're seeing, like, you see this stuff in these national parks too. People going missing. What's his name? David Paulides. I always want to call him Pilates. I know that's not his name, but he does a series of books and videos on the missing 411. So I highly recommend that. If you haven't checked that out. The area of the triangle itself is massive. My goodness, look at that. That is just beautiful country. I'm a sucker for mountains. I'm sorry. The Alaska Triangle spans from Anchorage to Juneau and covers a large distance in between. Obviously, this includes barren and remote territory, much of which includes untouched wilderness. Despite its remote nature, the area is home to a reasonably dense population as well as a population of tourists who visit annually. And it's a lot of these tourists, too. You know, they don't know what they're doing. Pilates. Thank you. I said it. That's his name. Planes have also gone missing in the Alaskan Triangle without a trace. Now, this is the one that interests me, is the planes going down. Now, it could be the weather patterns, too. You know, what affects you on the ground will definitely affect you in the air when it comes to, like, weather. While this could also be attributed to the weather, there have been disappearances and accidents in the Alaska Triangle involved planes and not just people. One of the most significant disappearances that happened in this area involved Congressman Hale Boggs, whose aircraft mysteriously went off the radar in 1972 while flying over the triangle. I remember that. I remember reading about that. I was only 3 at the time, so I'm good, but I'm not super baby. Efforts to recover the plane wreckage or any survivors was unsuccessful, and the disappearance remains a mystery to this day. Hey, Mika, what is up with you? Good to see you. Snowblind this? Yeah, because we're going to go, we're at one of these shows, we're going to get into the Dyatlov Pass back in the 50s. And there's also an American version of that too, of the Dyatlov Pass. So that's a fun story. I can't wait to get into that with you guys. The Lingot people believe disappearances are due to something else entirely. All right, here we go. Kushtaka. The indigenous people in this region believe in a creature that's called Kushtaka. It's said to be a cross between a human and an otter, which is responsible for luring unsuspecting people into Alaska's waterways. While the shapeshifter's existence has yet to be proven, it's only one theory as to why so many people disappear in the region annually. Oh, kind of like the what's the one? I want to call him the Marmaduke, but that's not it. Babadook? No, that's not it. Anyway, but the shapeshifters, that's another one we're gonna get into. When we're gonna do a whole thing, we're gonna do a whole evening of Skinwalker Ranch. So be prepared for that, kiddies. Just as planes disappear, they're also said to appear out of nowhere. The most notable example of this happened in 1986. So that was the story of the cargo plane. The Japanese plane flying from Iceland to Anchorage witnessed something that still has no explanation to this day. 3 separate aircraft, all of which followed the plane's flight plan, roughly 400 miles before they disappeared after about 30 minutes. In general, the region of the Alaska Triangle is considered unsafe. With such a vast wilderness like this one, it's not surprising that it's not exactly deemed safe for those who are inexperienced in backcountry survival. Even for those who are, the Alaskan mountains provide a challenge that's both mental and physical, and does not go easy on newcomers. For this reason, the area is fairly unsafe for those who have little to no survival skills, and those who are lost are often not found easily. All right, screw Google. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Really? Are you making that up? Natasha Kinski made a movie about otter people in the 70s. You're weird. But you're my kind of weird. I appreciate it. It's home to some monsters, but not the kind you're thinking of. Yes, there are a lot of bears there. I think the grizzly, for example, one of those. But speaking of Bigfoot, it would be unusual if visitors to the Alaska Triangle didn't report sightings of some large, strange creature. Some firmly believe that the infamous Sasquatch exists in these parts of the world, while others remain a bit more skeptical. Regardless of what seems to be stomping around Alaska's most inhospitable landscapes, one thing is for sure: no one would want to be stuck in the region alone. So, okay, so I have kind of a theory about this. So, Bigfoots have been spotted all over the place, but it seems like more often than not they've been spotted in the Pacific Northwest, Western Canada, and Alaska, right? So what do all those regions have in common besides being on the western coast of the continent? Hey, Snorky, good to see you. Cat people. Yeah, it's cat people, not otter people. I think there was a movie called Otter People's Money or something like that. No, that was Other People's Money. Sorry, never mind. But long ago, when we during the Ice Age, sea levels were lower, so you had the Bering Strait, you had the land bridge. So Russia, Asia, and North America were connected, and right, so that's where you had the migration of people who allegedly came across the land bridge into North America thousands of years ago. But what is to say that, you know, at the time, maybe, you know, we were still, I don't know. This is kind of a weird theory, but I'm just going to put it out there. So you had Homo sapiens and you had Cro-Magnons, I believe, were the last ones, and then they died out and it was just us. So what if the Cro-Magnons went off into, instead of going deeper into North America where the United States is today, what if they just stayed around the area of the Pacific Northwest up into Canada and just decided to live in the woods and evolved there and became these, you know, creatures that people see, you know, abominable snowmen, you know, it could be, you know, that's the thing. A lot of this is just speculation until somebody actually brings a Bigfoot in and we can test it and see what it actually is. That's all we can do is speculate. All right, back to the countdown, Casey Kasem. So electromagnetism might have something to do with strange phenomena. Yes. Of course, you got the northern lights up there too. Some believe that the Alaska Triangle is home to its own electromagnetic variations, also known as vortexes that affect the physical world. One example of this vile vortex is the Bermuda Triangle, but a more common example would be the North and South Poles. These types of magnetic energy centers are believed to have varying effects on humans, including anything from confusion to emotional changes. Right, Rick, there could be a missing link in that area. Definitely. I'm not saying it with aliens, but it might be aliens. I'm just saying. Yeah, portals. Isn't that crazy? So, and the thing is about the poles too, the magnetic poles are shifting, right? They move constantly at a slow rate, but they still move. And may have something to do with the ley lines around the planet too. And ley lines is not a new concept either. It's like these ancient cultures knew about ley lines way back and would put like a lot of their holy places, a lot of their tombs and stuff like that. It said that the pyramids in Giza are on ley lines too. So, you know, the Earth is a very mysterious place when it comes to the power that it yields, right? That we could tap into. I'm pretty sure Nikola Tesla had a good idea about that stuff. We're going to do a whole show on him too. So you watch your mouth. But yeah, and okay, so back to this. The number one, despite its reputation, is still a popular tourist destination. It is. Look at that handsome stranger. So Alaska is a beautiful, yet it's a scary place, right? About like a lot of places around the world too. A lot of these remote places, gorgeous, rarely or barely touched by human hands. And that there's a reason, because humans can't get into those places. But if they somehow manage to, chances are they're probably not coming back. So, I don't know. I know, right? That photo. Did you like that? That was pretty cool. Dude needed that. Dude had some Propecia or something. He need get him some plugs. Hey, get him some hair plugs, man. But Miguel says the pyramids is the only surviving original world wonder. It would be cool to visit. Yeah. And used to people, you could like, Graham Hancock claims that he's been at the top of one of those pyramids, right? Where the capstones were supposed to be. And this is what he claims. So he was up there with a guide. This was like maybe like in the 80s or 90s or something like that. So ever since ever since 9/11, you know, then they put the kibosh on that, you know, for terrorism, you know, keep from terrorists from blowing up the pyramids. Good luck with that. But he was at the top of the pyramids where the capstone was. I believe, as the story goes, his guide had like a wine bottle or something, and he wrapped the wine bottle with a wet towel or something like that, and he could feel like electrical pulses, like it was generating electricity at the top of that pyramid. Yes, that is Mothman. Wait a minute. And look at this guy. Hi, Billy. I'm hiding behind your couch. I'm gonna invent some shit, and then they're gonna kill me, and then steal all my shit when I'm dead. That's a sad story. The Nikola Tesla story is very sad. Yes, that's the Mothman. And the Mothman is more than just the Mothman prophecies. Fun little movie, but there's more to it than that. So, hell of a story there. So, what'd you think? Alaska, crazy place for UFOs, crazy place for big feats. You know, they pay you to live there. I think they still do, because they have oil up there, and I think they have the oil, and then like they give you a check every month because you're a resident or something. I don't know. That may be an old wives' tale or something. Yeah. So Alaska, it's them going that far north and being just so out in the wild like that. It's just a very scary concept. You know, like I said, it reminds me of the Dyatlov Pass incident, where these hikers went up into the Ural Mountains in Russia, and all kinds of crazy shit happened to them too. They think, the experts may think that they've solved the mystery of that one, but we'll talk about that one on another time. So anyway, just between you and me, if you go on a UFO, you might get to pet a Sasquatch. You know, in an episode of the $6 Million Man, they had a bionic Sasquatch that was like, I think it was from another planet, because they had like a UFO and everything in that show. I love $6 Million Man. That was such a great show. It was Sunday nights. I think it was at 7 o'clock or something like that. 7 o'clock Central. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna let you get out of here. If you're gonna watch your sports ball, enjoy yourselves. I hope your team wins. I'm probably gonna. I watched Star Trek Insurrection yesterday. I've been going on this kick of watching Star Trek movies. So I've seen all the old school ones again. I watched Generations. I skipped the one where they went back in time. It is the best sound effect ever. But yeah, so now I've been watching the Next Generation movies, and unfortunately I'll probably watch the Chris Pines ones because I'm a glutton for punishment. So I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Maiden Voyage of Mundus Ultra. This went a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That whole little audio hiccup was probably the worst thing. I gotta get my shit together with these web pages, but no, I'm gonna watch it. Out of all those, First Contact is my favorite, so I'm gonna watch all the bad ones first, and then I'm gonna watch first. I know I'm going out of order, but I'm gonna watch that one last because I really like that movie. With what's his name, the guy from Babe, Cromwell. He's just shit-faced the whole movie. Pacheco, is that how you say your name, Pacheco? Please give me a thumbs up if that's right now, because I want to make sure I get your name right. Thank you. You and Rick and Mika and Anthony, Dabby, Mouse Edit, Snorky, Miguel, Mika. I think I already said you. That's okay. It's a nice name. Say it twice. Screw Google. and Les Bones was here, and Miss Jimmy was here. I believe I got everybody. I hope I did. I did not know all of you folks were gonna. Kate, good to see you. Wowersism, thank you for showing up. Oh, I didn't show you this. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe. On the secret show, we have chickens. Chickens dominate the secret show. On this show, I believe what we're gonna have is cows. Yes, so cows dominate this show. I just got done finishing that today, so anyway, so cows on this show, chickens on the other one. Speaking of which, yes, no, well, these are fixed up cows. We're not gonna, these cows are not mutilated. They get sent back, well fed, and they get put in a place where the cow guy can't get them and turn them into hamburger. So I have a question for you, and you don't have to answer now, but just let me know in the future. Do you like this? I was thinking about doing this show at 6 o'clock on Sundays, 6 p.m. Sundays. Not too late, right? I know people got to go to work the next day, but it feels like a Sunday show, right? Like the end of the Sunday, you want to get your little paranormal action going on, you want to get your cryptids actions. So I'm thinking either Sunday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern or Friday nights at midnight Eastern, basically replacing where the secret show used to be. So if you like either one of those, let me know. You can find me, my name is up here. There we go. So you can find me if you're on the tweeters. I'm at dearman. On Facebook, I'm Jonathan Dearman, because I'm trying to be shady. But you can find all my links here too as well. So if like I said, this show will probably make its way to Rockfin and Rumble soon. I'm thinking about doing my own Rumble channel for this, but I do have live capabilities with ExtraBulla on there. So you may see this show on my ExtraBulla channel on Rockfin and Rumble in the near future. So right, that's it. That's what I was thinking too, Rick. He says either one, but midnight always has that Art Bell feel. It's like two things. It's either it feels like a Sunday evening show, right? Or it feels like a midnight show. Either way. So but yeah, just if you could, let me know on Twitter or on Facebook what you like. And if you're not on either one of those, I'm going to put my email in the chat. The Mundus Ultra at Gmail. And then just let me know about the time, but also let me know about something that you want me to cover, like a story, like some sort of crazy cryptid story, or some sort of historical weirdness or whatever. I love talking about that shit. I totally enjoy it. I don't know, Miguel says either one works. I might get greedy, and if this thing kind of takes off, maybe we'll have two nights, maybe do a Sunday night and a Friday night midnight one. I don't know, but I'm an old man, and that'd probably beat the hell out of me doing two of these, plus the secret show, which is on Saturdays at midnight Eastern. So be sure to check that out on ExtraBulla. And also on ExtraBulla, I believe Tommy Nation Politics from INN is going to be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to talk about politics. I believe he's from Texas. I think that's right. I gotta make sure. So I'll be talking to him for an hour tomorrow evening. It should be a good time. Lots doing here at War Deer Entertainment. That's my production company. Trying to get as much content out there for everybody to enjoy. I really enjoy doing these live streams. I really enjoy the community that comes out for these shows. You know, we're trying to provide you some variety, you know, a little paranormal goodness here, a little silliness on the weekends, you know, and some decent conversations with people that you may like in this space. You know, we're just trying to cover a lot of bases and you know, I'm trying to grow as a company myself. You know, I want to be able to do this full time. And if I'm able to do this full time, you know, I can provide more content for you. I can collaborate with more people and that sort of thing. But yeah, and if you want to make any donations to this channel or any of my other channels, I got the Cash App, I've got Patreon. We actually have a new Patreon, Cheryl Tonti, Spooky, you may know her, Spooky, sweet girl. She's our newest Patreon producer, along with Les Bones, Beast Bones. I guess I should, maybe I should set up a Patreon just for this show. Is that what you're saying? But I do have Patreon through the mothership to keep in theme with the evening. So, but anyway, I digress, and I went over 30 minutes. I was only going to do an hour, so now I kind of know I run my mouth a lot, and if I got a guest on here, it's probably going to go 2 hours. So chances are these shows are not going to be that short. So, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting me tonight. Like I said, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and like I said, this show only has like 30 something subscriptions, which is great. Totally love it. I love every one of them. But I didn't think all you guys were going to come out for this. So, the link to the Patreon, is that what you're talking about, Anthony? It's in my link tree. All that stuff is in my link tree. One-stop shop in there. You'll see it. Can't miss it. So let me throw that back up again. So it's Linktree /ExtraBulla. So it's like War Deer Entertainment is the grandpa, ExtraBulla is the parent, and now Mundus Ultra is the baby. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate you. Yeah, so anything you can do to help, you want to become a Patreon, that's great. It's only $1 a month. I think there's like a $5 tier in there, but the working man one is the $1, and then I think the $5 one is like, I think I called it, oh, look at you, money bags. So you know, $5. Hey, do not underestimate the power of $5. So but anyway, I'm just rambling on. I'm just so excited. I'm thrilled that this is finally off the ground. I'm thrilled that you all came out, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, that's fine. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I will try to fix it. I swear to God, I promise. Besides like the technical stuff, obviously I'm going to do that. But you know, like I said, if anything you want me to cover, it may be like a story that nobody's heard about. I'll do the research. I'll put the groundwork in. And hell, if it's something, a particular story that happened to you, I want to try and do like a call-in type thing too, where people can call in, and, you know, talk about their experiences and stuff like that. So I think that would be really cool. There's a lot of potential for this show. And with and you've really like boosted my confidence. Anthony, you're money bags in more ways than one, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate all y'all. I'm going to get out of here, let you go have some fun. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. I love each and every one of you. Be safe out there. I usually say wash your ass on the other shows, but for this show, I'm just going to say be skeptical, but keep an open mind. You never know what's in the world beyond. So we'll take that journey together. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week on Mundus Ultra. Take care. Peace.